Hey there, YouTube. Take 367. He says, getting to the end of his bowl. Quite an important video, this, so I'm going to get the housekeeping out of the way. I'm smoking a cob, and in it I am smoking some of this wonderful, wonderful twist tobacco that was sent to me by my good friend Vogie73, Wolfgang, that you will have seen in my video that I uploaded yesterday. Now, when I opened that pack, I tell you, my mouth watered when I smelt this, and I have not been disappointed. Oh, I can wear it as a moustache, look. I feel like Poirot. Smells wonderful, and smokes just amazing, amazing twist tobacco. One of the things I really love about twists, and I've really been getting into these recently, is their connection to our history. Twists and plugs. I'm very much into my twists and plugs, as anybody who follows me on Instagram will know, because these are a real connection with our history. Years ago, centuries ago, this was the form in which you would have had your tobacco, because if you worked in a mine or on a sailing ship and you couldn't smoke a pipe for one reason or another, then you would have a twist of tobacco like this that you could bite a chunk off and chew during the day while you were working, and then in the evening you could slice them up and put it in your pipe and smoke it. And I've smoked a few twists recently. By far, this Tom's twist of Motzek tobacco is the best I have had, and I do not say that lightly. I genuinely mean it. It is fantastic, wonderful. Oh, the smell, it's like a really nice mature cheese. It's wonderfully fermented. But I'm digressing. This is a video response to my good friend Johan in Sweden, the Mindful Pipe, who's doing a Christmas giveaway for 100 subscribers. So congrats, first of all, to Johan for his subscribers. Now, I'll say this right off the bat, I've already had one of Johan's pipes and some tobacco from him that he very kindly sent me a couple of months ago, and perhaps you will have seen that video. So I want to pay it forward and make sure that if I win his competition, the prize goes elsewhere to somebody of Johan's choosing. But I really wanted to address it for a number of reasons, because like with everything that Johan does a video about, he very much wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's a guy who has a great deal of empathy and love for people, and is not ashamed to speak of how much he's suffered in life as a result of the empathy that he feels for the human race. He's honestly one of the most genuinely strong and dignified people in the pipe community that I have seen, I think. Because to show what he does and to do what he does, I think takes real fortitude. So this is a video for you, my friend, Johan. And it's very much to tell you that you have a friend here in England, and you always will, and I hope very much that we will see each other at some point very soon, other than through the digital medium, of course. One of the problems with being an empath, with being somebody who genuinely really feels for other people, is that it's very hard to differentiate or to draw a line between feeling on behalf of the world and the people in it, and not having that damage yourself as an individual. Um, and Johann's very much one of those people that walks that line, or tries to walk that line. I understand, my friend, that you feel very strongly for the world and for people in it. And I love and respect you for it. And I understand the difficulties that you face because of it. So I do this out of solidarity for you, and for no other reason. But to get on to the premise of Johann's video, he asked us to talk a little about what Christmas means to us as individuals, and also to tell us of our favourite Christmas song. Now, for those of you that caught my Christmas video last year, you'll know that Christmas is a time that I generally tend to take advantage of the fact that everyone's buggered off and they're with their families elsewhere, and I get to spend some quality time in the woods on my own. Which makes me sound like a really ungrateful and an unsociable bastard, I understand, but it's really not like that. I live on an island population of 67 million people who are very hard to get away from most of the time, and I appreciate what time and space I get to myself. So despite the fact that I spend a lot of time working out in the woods, whatever. Christmas is a time that I know, Christmas Day is a time that I know if I go out into the forest, I'm not going to see anybody else because everybody's at home with their families. You know, they're not out walking the dog in the middle of nowhere. They're at home with their family, eating turkey, watching James Bond movies, and farting from too many Brussels sprouts or something like that. And that's great because it gives me an opportunity to enjoy being in the landscape and feeling a little bit more removed from society, I suppose. There's a good reason I feel like that, and again, I hasten to say it's not because I'm such an antisocial bastard or anything. It's just the other thing I guess that really gets to me about Christmas is the hypocrisy of it all. Because Christmas time, we're told to be, it's the time of goodwill to all men. It's the time that we give to charity and we think about our neighbours and our family and our friends and all of those things. And that's great. That's as it should be. But only if you do it the rest of the fucking year as well. You know, I can't get my head around why so many people would live their life in such a way as to be an arsehole through most of the year, and then at Christmas suddenly it's like, oh, we'll put all of that aside and we'll be good to each other. Bollocks. No, I don't accept that. Be good to each other. Or don't be good to each other. Your choice. But be consistent. I don't need Christmas to tell me to be good to my neighbours and to my friends and to the people that I love and the people who are important to me. One of the great things we see in the YouTube pipe community is this constant sort of sharing of gifts. You know, we're always sending each other yabos and things like that. You know, and we do that year round, and we do that because we feel solidarity with our fellow pipe smoking comrades or whatever. Well, let's go a step further than that. Let's do that to everybody in our life. We don't need Christmas to tell us to do that. It's just, normal. It's just normal, surely, isn't it? Well, so that's part of it. The hypocrisy of Christmas, I guess, really winds me up. Um, excuse me. Johan, skål. I'm drinking to you, my friend. I'm drinking in my leather tankard by Hidebound of England. This is lined with brewer's pitch. Unfortunately, I was at a party earlier on in the summer this year, and I'd had a fair number of these flagons full of beautiful honey beer that came from Dartmoor. And whilst it was tied to my belt, I sat on it and cracked the pitch lining. So I need to get it repitched. It is starting to leak there, as you can see, probably, where I've sat on it and cracked the pitch. So I need to resolve that. But anyway, next thing about Christmas and what it means to me. I've mentioned the hypocrisy and the getting away from people. Yeah, maybe that's probably it. Maybe that's probably it, to be honest. I mean, I think really you've just got to be good to people all year round and not use Christmas as an excuse to do so. You know, if you're somebody who loves to have the family together at Christmas and you know, and you really use it as an opportunity to get everybody together around the table and have a great time. Fantastic. Good for you. Great. Go for it. That's what it should be about. But do it for the rest of the year as well. Oh, the other thing. Yeah. As you guys know, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in the whole sort of, you know, religion thing. Um, and so the whole religious aspect for me, for as far as Christmas is, straight out the window. Because yeah, let's face it, you know, Christmas was around a lot longer than Jesus was. Um, all that happened was some guys came over to this country a couple of thousand years ago when the Romans invaded and said, hey, you know what, we got this religion, and you know those practices that you're doing over here, those pagan traditions were New Year, solstice, and yeah, well, actually, what you really want to be doing is it's Jesus. It's all about Jesus and this guy called Jesus from the Middle East that you've never heard of. That's what Christmas should be about. The Christmas tradition was appropriated from the pagan tradition that existed long before it. None of us are under any illusion to that. So please just, no. The whole Jesus nativity thing, nope, sorry. I ain't buying into that either. You know, we should, it's true, have a celebration of each other every year, of camaraderie, of family, of friends, of love, of giving, of joy, of gratitude for all of those things that we have. I think it's right we should have some traditions that do that. And I appreciate that for a lot of people, Christmas is that time. And that's great. Carry on with it. You know, carry on with it. But for me, it's not for me. I'll do that anytime I damn well feel like it. Thank you very much. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, final thing, Christmas song. Johan asked us to talk about a Christmas song or mention a Christmas song, and I'll put a link to it in the bucket underneath. My favourite Christmas tune of all time has got to be a song, and I know, Johan, you're going to appreciate this because it's from Ireland, and I know you have a love and affinity of the Irish. It's a song called Arthur McBride, the most famous version of which is done by a guy called Paul Brady. I'll leave you to Google what it's really about, I guess. But it's an Irish rebel song that takes place on Christmas Day. And it's about the Irish fighting in a very small way for their independence from England. at that time. I love it because, well, I love that warrior spirit. Um, and I love those people who fought for independence from an empire that had no place uh, in that geographical location. But I'll leave it to you to figure out for yourselves. In the meantime, I'll bid you all a great deal of peace, and maybe I'll do a Christmas video out in the woods again this year, like I did last. But in the meantime, Johan, thank you very much for the opportunity for the giveaway, and please do pass it on to somebody else. But very much love to you and to the rest of the community out there. And I'll see you all again real soon. Play yourselves out with a link in the bucket. Take care.